It's Jason and I. We got pizza. I got a car wash on the way back to Northfield Park. I'll tell you one thing. There might not have been as many people that could make it out today, but it was a nice day to train babies. Tomorrow is going to be very, very not nice to train babies. We were lucky enough that the track allowed us to come in today, bring our clients in, with food and drink. There's lots of pastries and stuff too you can bring home. I thought since Jason and I were out getting pizza and getting a car wash that we'd have a little car wash top 10. Little top 10 list from today. Now, I didn't win a set. I don't know if anybody noticed out there. I don't know if you noticed. I won 0 sets today. But I wasn't disappointed with not one horse I went with. So we're going to have a top 10 list from today. If you didn't go today, you can't make the list. And I would suspect our lists are similar, but a little bit different. I know. I'll leave it at that. So we're going to go through our top 10, a little dueling top 10 lists here. Jason and Anthony. Jason did all the commentary. How'd it go today anyway? Good?
No, it was good. Jenna did a great job.
She did a great job.
Yep.
She's always good. So Jenna and Jason did a great job. Curtis ran everything from Ontario. It wasn't the broadcast amount. I will endeavor, and I said this to Kelly the other day. Kelly said, our clients come out, whatever, but I said, I want to make it a big deal again, and there's no reason that we can't. I said I would do it for Christmas, and I screwed up. But now that John is coming on and is going to run the business side of the stable, I can assure you the open house in the summer is going to look vastly different than the open house of the past, at least the recent past. Pre-COVID, when we went that day, we got 600 people or 500 people crammed into Tamiko Training Center.
I remember a couple times there, the Mother's Day.
We'll be going back to our roots come June, I can assure you of that. So let's go with our dueling top 10. You may go first, Mr. McGinnis. Your top 10, number 10.
Do all 10?
Yeah, we're going to go 10.
I didn't really do an order.
Well, you're going to have to eyeball it. Number 10.
He's a Fearless Peter.
Okay, he's a Fearless Peter. It was funny because I was warming up with Hunter and Chris, and I had some people message me and say, Hunter and Chris, a lot of these horses are gapping and making breaks because you can't just come into somebody's barn, sit up on them and let them sail. But because we know them and we know what they're capable of and we know what we want them to do. But these are guys, drivers or otherwise, that are coming into a foreign stable for the most part and going with horses that they don't know that well and they don't want to sit up. These are babies. They're not even 2. And that's the one thing that everybody has to understand. They are not officially even 2 years old yet. So for them to be able to go a mile in 2:52 in any capacity is impressive enough. I had said to Chris and Hunter warming up, I said, these Uncle Peters, I said, there hasn't been a breed in Ohio that we've had more luck with than Uncle Peter, I don't think. A lot of people hate them, and I think I know why. Because you can't treat them like normal horses. The 2 colts were gelded right away. As soon as they get crusty, just geld them. And they need a lot of work. They take on a lot more work. You remember Aunt Lily last year. Aunt Lily was the fat kid in the playground last year that was always picked last. No one wanted to go with her. She was rude. She was ignorant. She was tough to do. She made tons of breaks. She just wasn't a nice filly to be around. And then as you just shook that rust off and then began polishing her in the springtime, what you were left with was actually a very, very nice horse. And I think that's why I like the Peters. They're durable. And Chris said it. He goes, a little older breed. He said they're durable and tough. And they are. And we have a lot of luck with them. My number 10 also is, he's a Fearless Peter. I thought the horse did great work today. That's the first time I've gone with him in a while. I told you last week he probably needs a hollows, but he doesn't. You're right. The horse was flawless today. And once he realized that this is what happens with a lot of the babies. They're stubborn, they're rude, and that phase passes right through repetition and work. And the ones that are good at it, they realize they're good at it, and that's when you start to see them blossom. And you see that, again, repeat itself when the babies start to race. Once they realize how fast they are, it's a great feeling, and they feel good about themselves, too. And He's a Fearless Peter has been a little mongrel since the day we broke him. And when we castrated him, you went with him last week and said he was trotting good. I went with him today. He actually
I went with him the day after you trained him on video, and I went with him by himself the next day.
Yeah.
You ran out of time or had to go or something. I went with him by himself.
I remember.
He was super.
Yeah. He just needs to be made work, and then once they realize how good they actually are, he's a Fearless Peter's got a beautiful gait, and he can go. I just didn't want to put him on the run. I hadn't ever gone with him other than that one time. I didn't have time to go with him, so I just was trying to be safe with him. I could have attacked with him a little more even, and he was very good today. So your number 10, my number 10 are the exact same. Who's your number 9?
Capistrano Knights.
Okay, Capistrano Knights. Have you went with her? You went with her last week. I told Amy, It's funny. Amy said she's trying to kick at me going on the track, and then she makes that break coming out of the turn. But Amy doesn't realize I kind of growled at the horse I was on, and she went to take off 100 and
she
just
did that. It's right on video because I watched it.
Yeah.
When I moved her off your back the other day, the guy was out training, and when she got between the two horses, she tried to go 0 to 60 like now.
That's the thing.
And she threw in a step, and just kept her.
You know who she
pacing,
reminds
and
me
then
of?
away she went.
Do you know what she reminds me of a lot? Gorgeous Package. The way she moves. No, they're both leather ups.
Yep.
The way she moves, the way they act, the way they're a little schizo sometimes. They're the same. It's funny, you and I both have her at number 9. I wanted to put her higher, but it is a tough list to make.
She made the break just because she was trying to go 0 to
She was
60.
gone. There was nobody going to be anywhere
was,
near her if she just
She won,
stayed at
but she
it.
got placed.
Yeah. Yeah, she's
So-
very fast filly, lots of upside with her, doesn't wear any boots. She just like Gorgeous Package, just chill, just relax. And they just need to relax. And Gorgeous Package by the end of the year ended up being probably oh, hey, how you doing? This guy literally was the same guy that let me in earlier. 1 second, my friend. There you go, sir.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Gorgeous Package was the same way last year. Remember, crazy, and by the end of the year, it was the nicest horse to drive. And I don't see much difference in these two fillies as they go forward. Number 8.
Highest honors.
Highest Honors. Yes, is the brother to, what's that horse Carmen had? You know his name.
We were talking about him in the video. Points North.
Points North.
Just under $1 million life.
Does he really? I didn't know he made that
under $1
much.
million. Like all overnight money.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like,
Points North, winning 49 multiple times.
Definition of racehorse.
Yeah,
He's
just keep going and going and going. This is his brother by Summa Cum Laude, the only Summa that we have. And I like this guy too. Did you go with him last week?
I went with him. No, not.
You went with him before we
a couple
castrated
weeks
him.
ago.
Before we castrated him. Because
it was after, and he made a break on me, but you could tell.
Just being rude. Being rude. And we worked him hard last week. Worked him real hard last week and came out today. Jason went with him. I said, any troubles? He said, no, he was perfect today. And he was perfect today. Very, very impressed with Highest Honors. My number 8 was AC/DC. I never saw that coming. The break from Solidarity wasn't a big deal. Solidarity just rolled off stride. I didn't want to take the flip-flops off him. I didn't want to take his hobbles in. We'll start with his hobbles first. We'll start with his hobbles. She wouldn't even look back at me. We'll take his hobbles in first.
Want to grab this?
And then I grab the pizza out of the back, girls. Other side.
Okay. Oh, Jason, that's Emma.
Hi, Emma.
So, really happy with AC/DC. Solidarity, we're just going to pull his hobbles in first. If he continues to just get a little scrambly and roll up, this horse's pace is this wide apart. Will never wear a boot. But when push comes to shove, he's just still a little fractious. Okay, keep it down, Ava.
Is that me?
And Emily?
Okay.
Or whatever your name is? Whatever.
Emma?
Emma.
Good job, Emma.
So when it comes to Solidarity, pull his hobbles in first 2 holes, and then we will opt to take the flip flops off. If it doesn't resolve itself, I'm certainly not concerned. Even I have to tell myself sometimes they're not to. So, slick gated horse. I was happy with him. I told Tyler before, I do not want to see Millie Girl getting hot. So just keep her very quiet and bottled up. She's really, really fast filly. Who else was in that set? Oh, the beautiful filly. Perfect Thought.
Yep.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart too.
Feel good.
And Diosa Della Donza, Lem said the only reason she made a break, she jumped over a pylon.
No.
Yeah. The Dancing Yankees.
Should just be sold. I joke about green shoes being sold with trotting hobbles and snake cords. Here's your fly screen and shadow roll.
Yeah,
congratulations.
they do see a whole lot. It was funny because the other filly, she would jump over stuff, but I found that she would look at them regardless. So I just raced her around it. Right? I never put a shadow roll on her. What's her name? Fancy
Tire Tracks.
Tire Tracks. She looked at stupid leaves blowing across the track. She jumped over stuff at Yonkers, but we'd put a shadow roller screen on her before, she'd still look at stuff. I just left her alone. If I knew what I was looking for, because I know what she's looking for, it was fine. We were fine. And she Diosa de la Danza, I think it's a dancing Yankee thing. Oh, the other nut there that looked at everything. What was his name?
Dance.
Oh, there was nothing in the world that he wouldn't jump over. That horse could see a penny a quarter of a mile away and jump over it.
Right in the roof of that barn.
Yeah. Okay, your number 8. My number 8 was AC/DC. I guess we didn't talk enough about him. That's a Stay Hungry colt, small colt.
Okay.
But man, he put it on them today, and we were pacing on the end of it, and we were coming no closer to him. He was very good today. Another horse, super skittish, but is starting to understand his work. Your number 7.
Had to know.
Had to know is your number 7. Okay. Have you gone with him yet?
Nope.
He's a beautiful colt.
Yeah.
That's the Marseille colt.
Yep.
Yeah, he's actually right there looking at us.
He won the set, and I thought he looked really good and trotted through the wire.
He did.
Super.
He did look really, really good. I'm going to tell these guys there's pizza. Hey, gentlemen, there's pizza in there. No problem. So yeah, Amy goes ahead to know all the time. He's a beautiful colt. If I was going to have any concerns, we've had 2 Marseilles. We've had 2 Marseilles now, and both of the Marseilles, their knees bothered them, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. Patty. Both the Marseilles, their knees bothered them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been a little more proactive. We put shoes on that would help him. He's a little stood up straight and a tiny bit pigeon-toed. So we ended up putting the window bars on him. You know, we want to look to maybe start him on Adequan a little bit earlier. But he's done his work well, and there's been no issues with him so far. A really beautiful colt. It's funny. Both are number 7s. Are head to know. I like this colt. Amy's done a great job with him, and he's a beautiful, beautiful trotter. You're number 6.
Riding the rodeo.
Riding the rodeo. Yeah, she looked good today. That's a cattle wash filly. It's funny. I never thought about it until we're going on the track. I was right beside Chris. I said, that's the sister to the colt that you drove in the Breeders' Crown elimination. Riding the rodeo. Riding the rodeo is the cattle wash sister to Riding the Waves, right? I think that's his name, Riding the Waves.
Something like that.
He was a down by the seaside, and Chris said he was a big bugger too.
Yeah.
And Chris went with her today, and she was flying on the end of it.
Flying.
Looked very, very good. My only concern with her is she always has a lot of allergy mucus. Now, the other filly that we had last year always did too. What's her name? Gorgeous Package.
Mm-hmm.
Always had it. So we got to be a little, we're trying to slowly be a little more aggressive with it, and we will when the new year comes. Whatever it takes to get her cleaned up and keep her cleaned up, that's exactly what we are going to do. So number...
I said in the video how Lems drove the...
Oh, yeah, he did.
I said he could probably go drive this one in Canada, but cigarettes are expensive in Canada, so he probably can't go.
So your number 6 was Riding the Rodeo. My number 6 was Highest Honors. We talked about him earlier with Jason's list. Really nice colt. Does his work well now. Happy that we castrated him because he's a totally different horse. Totally different gelding than he was a stud, I can tell you that. Your number 5.
Rose Run Bobby.
Rose Run Bobby, yeah. I forgot about her. She looked amazing. Hey, you go in and eat a piece of pizza.
You didn't eat pizza.
Yeah, I did.
No.
Maybe I didn't, but you can pick something off, you stinker. Oh, no, I got a good kind that you like. And I got pop in the back. Oh, am I in trouble? I didn't get a cheese
She
pizza.
had about 12 blue cupcakes by the looks of her. Look at her tongue. Look at your tongue.
You're silly. So your number 6 or 5 was who?
Rose Run Bobby.
Rose Run Bobby, yeah. She looks so good. Finished up really, really strong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's pretty tough to have a young trotter duck into the passing lane and run down a pacer that's pacing pretty good in the end of it, even at this age. And I was very, very surprised how good Rose Run Bobby was. And I know she's a good filly. I was surprised how good she was today. My number 5, Aunt Sarah. I just thought Aunt Sarah was amazing. She'd been running in when we first broke her and was going with her. No particular reason why. We had the vet go over her. We had a full barrage of x-rays and fluoroscopes done, as we did with most of the horses here. Was still on that right line. First horse to wear a head pole, Murphy Blind on the left, put a jawbreaker on her. I said to Tyler, how was she today? He said, fantastic. The filly was absolutely fantastic today. Certainly no concerns from Tyler with respect to Rose or Aunt Sarah. He said she got home good, finished up good. I thought just out of the corner of my eye, I caught her. She looked amazing. You probably had a better view than I did.
She really caught my eye past the wire.
Yes,
past the wire through the turn.
This is Tennessee Tom's sister.
Right.
Really nice filly. So that was my number 5. Your number 4.
My number 4 is Judy's Money.
Judy's Money. Yeah, you go with Judy's Money all the time.
Yeah, I really like her. She didn't win her set, but she was coming up the inside. I just like everything about her. She's fun to go with. She doesn't grab on. She's 2 fingers. She steers good. She's just a nice filly.
It was funny because we were joking, Chris, when we were jogging around, he said, that filly might touch that inside knee. I said, I'm confident she won't today. And he said, no, just, the way she kind of flips it in and then pulling up. He said, no, as soon as you sped her up, just snapped it right over. He said she'd never touch anywhere, I bet it. So, Judy's Money's your number 4. My number 4, Uncle Danny. I thought Uncle Danny looked great again today. Now, Jason's gone with him. A multitude of people have gone with him, and everybody likes him. Way better as a gelding also than as a stud. He was crazy and hot and loud and rude. Now he is laser focused. Really happy with what I've seen from Uncle Danny. The horse just seems to be a really nice horse. That's 2 Uncle Peters so far, and both the Uncle Peters look very, very good. You're number 3.
Uncle Danny.
Uncle Danny we just talked about. So Uncle Danny, you go with him a lot, so you tell him.
I like him. He's an Uncle Peter. I like him probably a little more since he's been gelded.
Yeah.
But I didn't hate his attitude even when he was a stud, but he'll make a better gelding.
Yeah.
I really like his gait, and he seems to have a lot.
My number 3, that was your number 3, right?
Yes.
My number 3 is Rose Run Bobby. We talked about Bobby. She's going to stay amongst the tops, I think, of the class for a while. There doesn't seem to be any issues with her. No matter what situation she's put in, you always are looking, and she's always right there, right? Trying to run down a pacer today, beat up on everybody for a couple weeks. She's just a really, really nice filly, and I'm super happy with...
Hey!
You scare one more horse in there, you idiot.
The Capistrano Night, you got to keep the bit in your mouth.
Amy just jumped right out of her skin. She had baby powder. Don't! I just washed the car.
We just went through the car wash.
Get! She was holding the baby powder and I honked the horn and she squeezed it. Anyway, it was funny. My number 3 is Rose Run Bobby. Your number 2.
My number 2 is Aunt Sarah.
Okay, yeah, we talked about Aunt Sarah. She was extremely good.
Yeah, I thought she looked... Like I said, go the warm-up lap, go the mile, and she looked as strong and as good anywhere after the mile. I thought she looked great.
And that's the whole thing people have to understand is this is a process, right? Where they get a little bit better. We keep working on the issues, allowing the horses to advance and grow up and mature. And this is just step 1. This is just the ground floor, and just thoroughly pleased with what I've seen from all the horses today, but particularly Aunt Sarah. It's fruits of the labor of everybody in the barn. She looked amazing. My number 2, Judy's Money. I think this filly is just about as good as you're going to get right now. She not only did she look good, but she looks like a cool customer out there. I remember when we first started changing her gear and tinkering with her, she was pretty fractious and a little rude and a little hot. But after we started, she started to see that she was actually faster than the other horses she was with. She enjoyed her work like a lot of the horses do. And now when you're out there, she's jogging around, she's cool, calm, collected. And then, you go to put her in gear and she's gone. She's just a really nice filly. Lems loved her today. Chris really, really liked her today. Everybody likes her that goes there. I was really happy with her. Your number 1 is the same as mine, and you can tell everybody about Steady Bolo.
I just like this colt. I like everything about him. I love his attitude. And we were talking, he's funny. Usually you see a horse flagging their tail.
Yeah.
Sour. Don't want to go. Him, you ask him, he flags the tail, and he just goes forward. Yeah. It's not a negative reaction. It's odd. But he'll flip that tail up, but he just goes forward with his ears up. Really like him. He did make a break on me last week when we videoed.
He's got a curb. He's got a curb right hind, and
today we put a Murphy on the inside of him. And I told him, I said, don't get jammed up in the turn. He'll be fine, because he knew he run. Jason knew he ran the other day on me.
Yeah, that takes a lot of adversity for a horse to be sore. That hurts him. Curbs are very painful, and for him to go out, do his work, blow by everybody today, and keep sailing along. That's just a horse that's going to get his work done, right? That's a worker. And you have to respect that about a horse, about any athlete, but definitely about a horse. And very impressed with this is Daniel Cordina's horse. This horse is solely owned by Daniel Cordina, Australia. He knew the family. His friend Emilio owned a lot of the horses, those Volo horses. And he had asked, I didn't buy him. I liked him, but for what we were going to pay for him, middle of the order, we already had a number of horses that fit that bill. And when it came up, RNA, 25,000.
25. So I said him.
I called him, and he said, "You didn't buy that colt?" And I said, "No, but he's an RNA at 25,000. Do you want him?" He said, "If he'll take that, I'll buy him right now." And I called, Mr. Brady at Kentuckiana Farms, and I said, "Hey, I have a client here that would buy the colt if you want." And he said, "Yep, come and get him." And he bought him, he owns him, and the horse looks amazing. So really, really happy with what I've seen from the horses today. I know it's going to be a lot of people say, well, what about this one, or what about that one? Listen, guys, there wasn't a horse that disappointed me today. And, as Hunter was joking, he said, well, just babies doing baby things. And that's it. It's not June. It's not May. It's not even 2025. These are yearlings that are turning to and learning to do their work. And I was very happy with what I saw here today. Now, different perspective. You were upstairs all day. I was on the track with a lot of these horses. So what was your take on the babies?
Just a lot of them. You could see the odd one, and just what you touched on. Hunter and Lems. They're good enough to come in here and almost a little
easy
cautious.
On them. Yeah, very cautious. Yeah, they don't want to look bad, right?
Right.
They didn't come here to be seen. They came here to help out, and that's exactly what they did. And I truly appreciate them coming in here and helping out. And everybody, you and Jenna upstairs, and
like
Steve.
A horse like riding the rodeo. Like you can tell if Lems put her in gear early, she might have.
She would have been gone. Yeah. So it's always nice to have people that are professionals here to do what they're supposed to. Halfway down the lane, I look over and Lems has got his hands out of handholds. He's just letting her sail, and just very happy that it worked out the way it did for everybody involved. Tomorrow would have been a disaster. Today we salvaged what we could. We got to show off the babies to you, and that is what today was all about. It was about you. It wasn't about them. It wasn't about me. It wasn't about Jason. It was about you. So I'm hopeful that you guys are happy you got to see your horses go today. It was a success. It was a good day. Everything went, for the most part, according to plan as best it could. And I hope you enjoyed yourself. You?
No, it was good. It was good. It's fun to. I touched on this with talking with Jenna too. I said it's different sitting behind them and then just watching them all go.
Yeah. It's a different perspective.
Like if I'm in the set and I'm worried about my own horse, like I don't see maybe Aunt Sarah pass the wire and stuff flying by. And we're sitting there, and I said, "Look at this thing! Like it's just."
She's a nice filly. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys had fun. I will talk to you all soon. I have videos to do for you today, aged horses, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds. I'm not going to do the yearlings, but I'll have those out to you probably tomorrow or Monday also. Take care.